Hey Ruth, this is Lauren and we're going to do the Pureology set. So what I did was I already sectioned it out. I'll explain what I did. I took a horseshoe section from the roundness of the bone, went through the crown, and this is my first section. Then I took from the top of the head to the back of the ear on the left and right side, and I put some nice clips in it. So this is my right side and my left side. And on the back, what I did is I sectioned it out in 4 sections. This is the first, this is the second, the third, and the fourth section. So I did 4 even sections, about 1 1/4 inch wide. And I'll be doing ribbon curls all the way through the top. So my first sections I already did, so I'm going to explain that to you. What we want to do is we want to do ribbon curls. So ribbon curls are flat curls around the iron, and we did 2 ribbon curls here on the bottom, and I'll show you. We're going to break the the second section up into 3s because we're going to bricklay it. 3 even sections. 3 even sections. And I'm right-handed, so I'm going to start on the left side of my mannequin, and I'm going to spray it with Control Spray. I'm going to spray my sections. Now you can spray it individually if you want, but I just wanted to miss that. And we're going to go 90 degrees from the head, and I'm going to keep my tongue open right here, and I'm going to go about 2 inches away from the head, keeping it open, and then shut my iron, go out, and keep everything nice and flat to the very end, making sure that I get right at the base. You can put your comb in the back here so that it is half off base. So keep it in your hand. And what you want to do is make sure that each curl is perfect so that you can see through that curl. So we're going to take a single prong pin and place it right half base. Here we go. We take another section straight out from the head. Everything else will be the same as we continue up, combing the hair straight out from the head. Now another thing we want to do is to make sure that we pinch the hair so that we can get it around. So another example, 2 inches away from the head, 2 inches away, come back to the base, keeping it nice and hot. Come back to the base, keep it there, just so it's all nice and hot. And make sure that you're keeping it in. I'm right-handed, so I'm keeping it in my left hand. Keeping my single prong clips very close to where I'm working so that I can get this done in 15 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes. Going straight out from the head. Remember, this is going to be a bricklay pattern. So what does a bricklay pattern mean? Well, what that actually means, hold on, let me do this again and I'll share the question that the student had. What does bricklay mean? That's a great question. Let me get back to you on that. Straight out from the head. And making sure that we put our single prong pins in right half base. Now these are pretty small You want to clip them nicely. Whoops. So now we're going to bring this down. A bricklay means that when we drop this down, what we want to see is that the part is not in the same area as the one below it. So what we want to do is make sure that the part on this one, oops, is right above the middle of that curl. So what I want to do is move this out of the way. Hold on, because this got a little, it moved a little bit. So I just want to make sure the curls are in a way that we can see right through the curl. And pin that half base. Now when we drop this down, this is a large section. So I'm going to start on the left since I'm right-handed with my iron. I'm right-handed with my iron. Go down with your spray, because that way when you go down with the spray, it really makes the cuticle fall down. Now remember, it's 90 from the head, so that means it's straight out from the head. Then we want to do is want to lift up that comb so you're not dragging. Make sure that you pinch the hair together. Keep the tongue open. You can go like this to warm it up if you wanted, okay? So there's a little mark there, so we don't want that. So I'll just iron that out. There we go. Okay, so we heated it up. Keep that open. Go to the base. Keep it open. Go to the base. Click it all the way through. Go right to the base, keeping it at 90, not dragging the hair, not over directing. Keep it in my hand and clipping it half base. Second section. Here is where my split is, right here. So when we do a bricklay, we don't want the split to be right there. So we're going to move it over here. Go down with your spray. You can also go up with your spray to smooth the cuticle, keeping it at 90. You're going to go 2 inches from the base, wrap it around. Wrap it around. Excuse me. Get it nice and warm. And making sure we take it off. Keeping it in my left hand. And clipping it half base. Nice and even. Here was my split right here where I had my section. So now I'm just going to do nice even sections. So this is 2 curls. This was 3 curls. The third one is 4 curls because we're at the widest point of the head. 2 inches away from the base, go at the base. Click it through. The only iron that you should be using is a Marcel iron so that you have the dexterity and the movement of these curls. This is called a ribbon curl because you're not twisting the curl. Ribbon curls are flat curls. So we have the half base curl. Oh, okay. So I'm just going to start working. All the curls are the same. Okay, so we're gonna proceed and do the whole thing so you can see the whole amount of work. Now what kind of, the section right here, excuse me, on the top will be three, 1, making sure. Okay, this is a Josephine. This is a Josephine. However, this Josephine is a little bit different. So I'm going to have to, it should go 2, 3, 4. But in this area here, right by the anchor of the ear right here, the back of the ear, there seems to be a lot more hair. So I'm going to do 4 sections. Oh, no, I don't have to do that. I'm sorry. Sorry, Ruth. Everything's fine. We're going to still bricklay it. 3 sections. So it goes 2, 3, 4, 3. Yes, that was my mistake. I'm just going to heat up the base right here. Still a ribbon curl, lay flat, bring it out. And right at the base, half base, perfect. We're continuing using the Strengthening Control Hairspray, 2 inches. Always remember to, as I say, go back to the base, go back to the base. Oops, that got a little tangled, so we'll redo that. There we go. We're still bricklaying. And we are still going half base. And the last one here, as we can see, around the side, spray down, spray up, comb it through. Keep that tongue open so you don't get a mark. If you close that tongue onto that section, you'll make a mark, and we don't want any marks in the hair. Yeah, we're going to continue, Janine, until it's done.
Great.
So we're on the right side here. So when we start on our right side, we still want these away from the face. So we're going to go away from the face. Everything is away from the face. We're going to take this whole section and we're going to cut it in two. And when we stand on our right side, we're going to bring it straight out, making sure that we don't overly elevate it up. So straight out from the head. To do this, I have to stand in front. So I'm going to stand in front. Sorry for the changing. And when I do this, I have to make sure that my cord is in back of me, so I'm not hitting my mannequin. And I'm not twisting my hair. I'm keeping this open and wrapping it around so it's close to the head. Oops, excuse me. Let's do that again. Sometimes it does fall out. So what we want to do is just keep that nice and elevated, because that's going straight back. Nicely heated up. My iron turned off. That is not a good thing. So that's why this is not happening, because my iron for some reason just turned off. So sorry about that, everyone. So we split that in half. Go straight out at 90 from the head, making sure it's over my shoulder, keeping the tongue open. My iron is at 450. I can just wrap it very nicely around there. Pushing that hair up. And straight out right at 90. So we don't want to drag it and we don't want to elevate it. Making sure that this is perfectly straight up and down. And when we pin it, we're pinning it half base. Here we go. Oops, there we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clip this one right here, half base. Now we're going to do the other one. Just want to make sure I clipped it correctly. Yep. Hold on. Yep. Okay. We can see it, Janine?
Yep.
Okay. So it's the same from what we started. Straight out from the head. This is getting a little tangled. 2.5 inches away from the base, wrapping it around, going right to the base, keeping it open, going right to the base, keeping that nice and straight, all the way to the ends, straight up. We want to make sure we can see in between those curls. So you can see in between that curl. Can you see in between that curl? That's what we want. Okay, so now we're going to do the other side, and the other side is the left side. So when I work on my left side, I'm going to work from behind, and I'm make sure that's away from the face. So I'm going to split that in half. I'm going to stand behind my mannequin, make sure that the cord is behind me, straight out from the head. Now, my tongue right here has to be in the front, okay? In the front, oops, sorry, in the front, straight out from the head. I'm working that in, nice and smooth, oops, straight out from the head, making sure that it's nice and smooth. Straight out from the head, getting in all those nice ends and bringing it straight in. So it's not doing this and it's not doing that. It's doing this. Directly vertical. Now when I did this on my own with not explaining it, I did it in 20 minutes. So this is taking a little bit longer because it is the first time that I'm speaking while doing it. This is the roundness of the bone right here. That was my U-shaped. Make sure everything is in front and my cord is in the back. Sorry. Yeah. Oops. Hold on. Excuse me. Okay, so what we want to do, oh, this is a little tall for me. Hold on. I'm not getting a right position because it's a little bit too high. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower it. So you would do that if you had a person in your chair. Straight out from the head, making sure we get those ends. Straight up. Now we're going to take this out and we're going to pin it half base like we've done every single curl so far. There we go. Now when we do the top, we're going to do 4 sections in the top area. And what we're going to do is the first section, I'm going to just subsection these. Okay, so we're going to do the first section. And the section should be about 1 1/4 inch wide because that's the size of the iron that we're using. And we're going to do 4 sections. I'm going to subsection it out. I start, I'm starting at the front of the head. And I'm just going to subsection these so that they lay nice and flat. And then here's my bottom and my back. So what we want to do is start in the front. And we know by our end result that we want most of the hair to go to the right. So in this case, in the front, we're going to split it not in half like this, but we're going to take a diagonal back section right here. Now I am right-handed and I need to see over my mannequin. So I'm going to put her down a little bit so I can see her. And this is the same that we've done. We're going to elevate it at 90, keeping it 2 1/2 inches out, 2 to 2 1/2 inches out. Go back to the base, go back to the base. And go back to the base. And we're going to pin it at half base right here. Second section, diagonal back section. I started on my left side and I moved to the right because I am right-handed. This way I won't mess up my curls. Straight out from the head, pinching the hair together, keeping the tongue open, going right to the base, right to the base, and right to the base. Keeping that straight. The second section is going to do 3 sections. Oh, goodness, look at that. I didn't see that. I'm sorry. That is my fault. That was hanging there. So what we need to do is redo this curl. Sorry about that. There we go. Get that nice and warm. Half base. There we go. There we go. And just make sure this is nice as well. Okay, so this is 3 sections, 3 separate sections. We're going to start on the left. And we're going to bricklay it like we've done all of them. Straight up from the head, go to the base, straight up from the head, land at the base, straight up from the head. I'm gonna just make sure this looks better. Here's my second section, and on the second section I'm doing 3 sections. I don't know if you can see it. I'll try to turn it around. Straight up from the head, making sure that we spray it. Making sure it's straight up from the head, nice and smooth. And the next section, now when we get to the third section, we're going to do the same thing that we just did. Hold on, I'm going to check my notes. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. The third section is 2 separate sections. Straight up from the head at 90. And so it's a perfect curl that you can see through it. Half base, splitting it into, and using our wonderful strengthening control spray straight out from the head, up from the top, touching the base. And then our last one is coming up. I hope you enjoyed watching this. Sorry it's a little long. I practiced at least 3 times, but I haven't taped myself while doing it. So And now in the back here, we're going to go diagonal back with it, split, so we don't get a split at the crown. Diagonal back, we're going to go straight out from the head where the hair lives and breathes. This did get root lifter at the base. I've prepped it. I didn't think I had to show you that. I think you know how I do that. No, I thought you would know that I know how to do that. But anyways, here's our last one. As we click everything to it, nice and warm. Keeping it in my hand. And using our single prong pins, pinning it half base, and doing the last one there we go. Oops. A little flyaway there. About 2 inches away from the base, clicking it right at the base. Clicking it all the way through and meeting it at the base. And that's the end. So, anyways, here's the final end result of, oops, my mannequin. Let me just make sure that is perfect as I clip it. Hold on, not perfect yet. So let's just redo this one. Straight up and straight up. And straight up. And then pinning that, here we go, half base. Well, I hope you enjoyed it, and that's the end.